I'm gonna do this with a straight face. Mardu Mommy mutilates your most malleable part of the game, your hand. Mardu Mommy makes Masticore grinding station loops very good. Introducing the new best Mardu commander, in my opinion. Many people have overlooked this deck because they believe that the wheel effect that it has is the only effect on this card, but let's read it. When Mardu Mommy enters the battlefield, you get to discard any number of cards in your hand and then draw that many +1. People read that line and went, oh cool, a commander that ETBs and then refuels your breach lines. That's not bad. Buddy, did you read the second line? Whenever a creature enters from your graveyard, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on all your creatures. Have you been spoken to about a little mechanic called persist? That means we can infinitely sack a persist creature to something.
And what might that be? What would we like to do that to?
Grinding station. That's right. You can now, for 4 colorless mana, win the game. That's messed up. Mardu Mommy does 3 things better than any other Mardu commander. 1, graveyard recursion. 2, it refills the yard and refills your hand better than any other Mardu commander. And 3, you look cute while doing it. This is without a doubt the best grinding station commander. So for those of you familiar with breach lines and you're used to seeing this pile show up in your games, let's just erase that. All right, now put in grinding station. Now instead of Lion's Eye Diamond, you put in Masticore. And now get rid of the breach, boom, you win the game. But back to the normal pile, you can just replace Brain Freeze, put in grinding station, and it works effectively the same. Easy infinite mana to do something with Savine's Reclamation to win the game, but normally you're just gonna go get grinding station and mill everybody out. And don't worry, obviously the deck has a bunch of backup ideas on how to do this and different persist creatures. It's amazing. So if you are a Mardu enjoyer and you're not giving this card a chance, you big dumb. And just look at the art, bro, come on! And let's not skip the fact you can constantly re-ETB Celes to draw new cards and keep pushing for wins even on turns where it feels like nothing can get to you. I love me a wheel on a stick. But let's get down to it. How does this commander play in the real world? What happens when I try to play Celes? First, you're gonna have to know how to play the commander and know the cards in the deck. And trust me, if you wanna be good at something for once in your life, yeah, I'm talking to you, Mr. Peaked in High School, you're gonna have to read the cards with me right now. It's not that stressful. That was a bit much. We're gonna... Creatures! Within the creatures, there are 3 win cons that I want to target first. Murderous Redcap, Masticore, and Abdel Adrian. We just went over the Masticore line, so I'll do it one more time for you. You use Grinding Station because it's an artifact. You sacrifice it to it. The persist trigger happens. It comes back in. Then it gets the counter due to Celes. You can infinitely mill out the table, win the game. Now, Murderous Redcap is if Masticore isn't an option. So during a breach line, instead of using Brain Freeze or whatnot, let's say you end up getting one of the altars or way to sacrifice creatures. Well, now as long as you have any way to sacrifice a creature and you have Celes out, Murderous Redcap plus that sacrifice ability wins the game due to it ETBing and dealing damage. Just make sure while you're doing this to deal damage to everyone's creatures first just to be funny. Trust me, it'll be hilarious. You'll make friends this way. And last is Abdel Adrian. Now, if you're a CEDH aficionado, you may already know this combo, but I'll do it for you anyway. We very easily discard Abdel Adrian to Celes from our hand on the ETB. Then we cast Animate Dead, targeting Abdel. He then returns from said graveyard, exiles Animate Dead with his ETB trigger, which makes him leave and go back into the graveyard, which makes the exiled effect come back, which allows us to Animate Dead again, infinitely making 1/1s. Very easy combo to assemble. Our other creatures are ways to silence the table and stop them from messing with our game plan. I put in Harmonic Prodigy because Celes is in fact a wizard and will trigger twice as a result, which I just think is really cool. Plus, it's not like we're wheeling our hand, let's be clear about this. You discard any number of cards that you want to, so you do get hand selection through this. That's a really powerful effect. And then we have ways to sacrifice other creatures to win the game, especially for Murderous Redcap. Next is our sorceries. I'll want to cover 2 big things about this. 1, we are running Savine's. That is how you're going to mill everything into your graveyard and get the things you need back very easily. It is one of the most important cards in this deck, especially for any Mardu deck. And then, as you notice, we actually have things that sacrifice creatures in order for us to gain value, which makes, again, the persist creatures that much better because then we just have multiple things to sacrifice because they come back to Celes anyway. It's free real estate. Oh, and then of course, Wheel of Fortune. Why not? Bob Barker, is that you? All right, on to instants, and we actually do have some interesting spice. Due to it being Mardu, there's not the normal counterspell suite, but there kind of is the normal Mardu counterspell suite. But in this instance, Celes has enough power that we get to use Bolt Bend, and then of course the normal Red Blast, Elemental Blast, yada yada yada. We have some modal selection things to destroy enchantments, things like Mystic Study, things that normally we would have an issue playing through, and then some more silencing effects. All in all, it's kind of a unique list. And of course, we still keep things like Tainted Pact for the fact that we could use it still if we really need to in a desperate situation, but also we're running Praetor's Grasp, which allows us to go get someone else historical and win through that anyway if we get enough mana. It's an easy win. Why not? there will always be a Thoracle at the table. Next is the artifacts. Okay, I'm gonna try to sell you on this deck right here about how cool this is. I bet one of you watching this video really likes Food Chain. It's an enchantment that you get to kind of sacrifice, you know, it's kind of like sacrificing a creature to, and it goes infinite and then you win the game. That's what these do. Did it work? Did it work? So again, due to Celes's second ability, which allows these persist creatures to come back and still have +1/+1 counter on them instead of the -1, which means they net 0, which means they can come back every time you sacrifice them, we get to use these cards to win the game by getting either infinite mana and or infinitely milling out the table. It's cool. That's really cool. Then we got some things like Vexing Bauble to help, you know, control things, because again, we don't have blue, our fast mana, the One Ring, and then a little spicy portable hull to get rid of some things on the board. So what does a normal game of Celes Rune Knight look like? Like any other CEDH deck that's commander reliant, it's looking like fast mana to get Celes out, cards we would like in our graveyard, or just fast mana, one card we want in our hand, and the rest we can just pitch. This deck's looking to jam. It's pretty straightforward. That's a normal turn. I want to slam my Mardu commander, do Mardu things. I want to sack things. I want my graveyard big. It's not that complicated. But that's the beauty of Mardu, and that's the beauty of this deck, and I think why you should give it a shot. And if you've been someone big braining in blue decks and CEDH for this long, and you need something new, bro, just go for it. Thank you for watching another video of mine. I have been trying to make YouTube my full-time career, and I am making 4 long-form videos a week, as well as 2 shorts a day. Yeah. Okay, bye.